Well, today we are launching our new podcast, Behind the Barriers, exclusively for Australian Turf Club members, and I'm joined by Brett Devine, the General Manager of Communications for the ATC. Our members are so important, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely, Tim, and we really thank our members at the moment for their understanding and their support. These are obviously very tough times. We can't have our members at the races at the moment, but we're all in it together. We really are all in this together with our participants, our jockeys, our trainers, and the more we can do to keep this virus at bay and to do the right things to keep racing going so important, the quicker we can get our members back on the track. We're really supportive of our members. They're our most passionate and loyal fans, and we thank them for their understanding as we go through this together.
And how do you reflect on last Saturday, day one of the championships?
Yeah, the Star Championships. We really want to thank our sponsors who have stuck through with us during these times, and the Star sponsored day one of the championships, and of course the Star Doncaster Mile, an amazing story, Natur winning there for Wendy Roach and James Innes Jr. Look, and we had three other big Group 1s, the Bentley Australian Derby. Thank you to Bentley for joining us for the first time with the Derby. Of course we had the English Sires, won again by the Snowdens, and the TAB TJ Smith Stakes. Thank you to TAB, our great supporters. Through these times, like our members, our partners are joining with us, and it was a great day racing, Tim. 4 big Group 1s, and we're looking forward to next Saturday now for another 4 big Group 1s.
Well, I'm going to talk to you about next Saturday real soon, but we're going to start with our first podcast, and it is the wonderful Bjorn Baker. He's a great character and a great trainer.
Yeah, of course. What a great, funny man he is. Exclusive there for members, and looking forward to hear what he says about his dad, of course, who won the Bentley Australian Derby with Quick Thinker on Saturday just gone.
It's Quick Thinker, Zabrowski, head and head, a great finish in the Derby. Quick Thinker just in front from Zabrowski. Quick Thinker holds on. There's 5 for Murray Baker.
Bjorn Baker, you've got the beard on. You're getting ready for that next movie, I heard.
Yeah, Castaway, the sequel, I think, but no, I'm due for a shave. I'm getting a little bit sick of it. It's a bit itchy and not ideal.
It's a beautiful time of year, isn't it? Obviously there's some issues at the moment, we know that, but it's a great time for horse racing right now.
Exciting time. The fields through the autumn have been amazing, and it is a tricky time, but racing's still going ahead, and I think we're managing it as best we can. So no, it's hard to beat autumn in Sydney. Randwick, Rose Hill, great racing.
Yeah, and Canterbury and Warwick Farm, what about, this is your home now. What about this place? You came out here after training with your father, you'd done your pharmacy, you came out and you said, no, I'm going to do it by myself. You started with 2 boxes, and it got a little bit of build it and they will come. It's just gone from there. It's a lot of hard work, but you've done well.
Yeah, I must say, I've grown up in a household where my father's always looked to bring any good horses to Australia. I was lucky enough to work here in my young 20s, and I love Australia. I love the racing here, and I'm just lucky enough to do what I love every day. And Warwick Farm's been amazing for me. I've been here sort of 8, nearly 9 years, and growing with it. And no, it's a hard place to. You couldn't get many better places to train.
Your dad, Murray, is one of the world's #1 horse trainers. He's New Zealand's best horse trainer. Every honour has gone his way. You have now pushed outside of that shadow now. Was that difficult to get outside the shadow and be Bjorn Baker, the horse trainer?
Well, he wasn't quite as good when I left him and came over here, so the only thing, everything's worked out amazingly well, but the only problem is he actually went better after I left, which is the issue. But no,
maybe it's what you taught him.
Yeah, that's true too. And no, he's had a great run, and it's great to see. I think he probably gets more enjoyment out of my horses winning than his own, and as well as that, he's sort of continued to have a great run in partnership with Andrew Forsman, of course, and they've had a remarkable record over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And
you and him are close, your dad, and we saw it on the weekend. Another Derby win, and you were the one that prepared nearly everything for the winner.
Yeah, it's sort of it was a great result for them too. Of course, they were in lockdown at the time, so it's worked out, well, still are. So it's a fantastic result. He did have Alicia over here who did all the early work, so we really only got him late. Quick Thinker for
I'm trying to give you all the honour for the.
I've got to give him a bit back though. So, and that's what essentially the base with these sort of Derby horses starts a long way before. It's years of work, and he had a great grounding. I thought he was the fittest horse going into the race, and it worked out that way. And he's tough too. So no, it was a fantastic result for everyone.
And what a race for the Baker family. That is, it's a little bit of a soundtrack of your life in a way when you brought Nom de Jure over here over 10 years ago now.
Yeah, well, that's right. Nom de Jeu, he won at 40-1. He was the first horse I took to Australia when I was back with my father. And so Murray's first, at that stage, AJC Derby winner. Then from there I came over, Dundee stayed with me. Then Mongolian Khan, John Snow, Quick Thinker, and that's the 5 of them. So no, it's been a great race for the family, and no, they seem to love the 2-4 at Randwick, and what a special track that is.
What about Positive Peace? What a mare, what a beautiful mare. 5 in a row now, and here she is, going for 6 on Broadway with the Coolmore Legacy.
Yeah, and that's what it is, Broadway really. It's a tough race, but she's just kept stepping up, and one of the old racing adages, the more they win, the more they pay. She's been pretty reasonable money for most of her wins, especially her last couple, and her last win last time was dominant, and she still looks great. She's in fantastic order. She's got a wide gate from 17, but she'll be able to roll forward, put herself there, and she's not going to wonder for fitness. I think she'll be 7th up and going for 6 wins in a row.
Would you say that she's your highlight, or Samerdoubt? I suppose it's hard to split them, but they've both been great for you. Samerdoubt last year, phenomenal.
Yeah, in the Winx Stakes, that was a pretty special result, and it's just unfortunate that he's injured currently, but that was special at Randwick to win a race like the Winx Stakes. So that's probably the highlight of the season, undoubtedly. But Positive Peace, if she happened to win on Saturday, she might overtake him. Let's
reflect on Winx, because it was, this time last year, April 13, where we saw the farewell to the mighty mare. Randwick was just absolutely heaving. In my 30-year media career, I don't think I've seen anything quite like it, and she saluted in the most amazing manner. It was magical. It lifted people's spirits, not only that were there at the track, but those were going through tough times at home. For those moments, great racehorses like her just take people to another place.
Yeah, they do, and she was such a special horse, and as much as anything, her constitution was unbelievable. She was sound, and to do what she did for so long was unbelievable. It was a great training effort and a great riding effort too. So no, it was great to see her. Unfortunately, I didn't run second to her, but I ran a few minor placings, and it sort of made you realise how good she was. She defied everything to just keep winning.
A very different Longines Queen Elizabeth Stakes this weekend, but still a mighty race with some amazing racehorses. We've got Dannon Premium, the Japanese horse, and very elegant Tiako Shark. It's quite a field.
Yeah, it is, and it's it's probably one of the last times this autumn, or even this year, that we will see a very international field. You've got a couple, Melody Bell, Tiako Shark, Dannon Premium from Japan, and so it's a few sort of the Europeans there as well. So it's exciting from that point of view. It's going to be a ripping race, and I'm not too sure where to look.
What about Natur? Usually when we talk about pizza eating, Jack Daniels drinking, it's either a trainer, an owner, or someone else. This is an extraordinary horse, of course, trained here.
Yeah, she is. And what a win it was from last, and now it's a great training performance. And no, you don't normally relate drinking Jack Daniels and pizza to an athlete, other than myself and yourself, of course.
Exactly.
But no, it was a fantastic win, and just shows you, really, she wasn't an expensive horse, and she's done it. I ran second to, I think, with a mare that was just beaten by a called Dorothea not too long ago. So it's funny how the form works out. But she's running against Positive Peace this weekend, of course, so she'll be one of the obvious ones to beat.
So a lot of people who are watching this, listening to this, know your history, but for those that don't, they wonder, Bjorn Baker, and of course, your mother is of Swedish origin, your father the Kiwi, and he was over there when he met your mum, over in Europe.
Yeah, he was in Germany, and I think he was working on gas pipelines or something, and met my mother and brought her back to New Zealand. I think she was 19 years old, so it was a big cultural difference between New Zealand and Sweden. You don't get sort of the opposite sides of the world, but also in culture as well. So she's done a great job. She's really the support behind Murray. She's managed a lot of the business side of it, and she doesn't get the accolade she deserves.
Well, she's going to be watching closely in the Sydney Cup, of course, the swept Sydney Cup, because the chosen one, another one of Murray's horses that you're looking after.
Yeah, and he's in good order. He ran on Saturday. I think it was just too wet for him, so we're looking for a drier track. And if we get that, I think he's a chance. So the blinkers come off. 2 miles should suit. He ran in the Melbourne Cup. He didn't have a lot of luck. They sort of went slow, and he never got warmed up. So he's not out of it at good odds.
Just with this Swedish background, do you see yourself more of a Stefan Edberg, Mats Verlander, Bjorn? Which way do you go? The most famous Wimbledon winner, you go that way?
Oh, when I grew up, Stefan Edberg was the man, so I might have to follow him. But obviously I can switch between nationalities pretty good. As my wife, she's a Kiwi, says I can be Kiwi, Aussie, Swedish. I can sometimes be an Aussie, believe it or not. But when it comes to soccer, I'm definitely a Swede. Tennis, I'm a Swede. So we do switch a bit.
And it is great news because with the lockdown in New Zealand, New Zealand's going to have to postpone or not turn up for the Bledisloe Cup, so Australia will just win it.
Oh, well, I don't know about one, maybe a draw, or maybe it stays with the current holders. But yeah, it's going to be interesting that when we do come out of this, where all these sports are going to be positioned. So fingers crossed it all comes through well. 2
final questions. It is great that we're racing, isn't it? And we're seeing some wonderful racehorses. We learned a lot through equine influenza, and all the protocols that are in place is allowing this amazing sport, obviously without the crowds, and that's a logical thing. But we are still alive and well. Yeah, and it's great. I think it does make you realise when you come to Warwick Farm at sort of 3 or 4 in the morning that how lucky we are. We're still going, we're still in business. There's been some cutbacks, but that's expected in these times. And as long as we keep going, we're going to be in a great situation going forward. And I love Australian racing, I love racing in Sydney, I love what I do. And coming to Warwick Farm every day is fantastic. So I couldn't think of a better thing to continue to do. And fingers crossed we can. Well, that's the last one I wanted to ask you about was Warwick Farm. I'm a Westie. I grew up around here just down the road in Guildford, and we used to play cricket here. But this to me is just, it's a safe haven. It's such a beautiful space, isn't it, Warwick Farm? It's got a certain sense of laid back magic. Yeah, it is. It's great, and it is laid back, and I think from a training point of view it works very well logistically. We can go north, south, east, west, and it opens up a lot of tracks. And it's casual and it's laid back and it's good fun, and most importantly of all, the horses do well here. And as a trainer, if you win a Group 1, you've got to buy the prawns. What kind of prawns will you have if Positive Peace salutes on Saturday? I'll be getting them straight away. Monday morning they'll be here with a bit of champagne, and I'll just make sure they're fresh. A few of the trainers, I'm not sure if they might get a discount for the older prawns at times. Thanks for going behind the barriers. Yeah, brilliant, thanks. Thanks for having me, Tim. Bjorn Baker, well, he's really made a name for himself, hasn't he? Obviously the son of such a famous trainer, but he's doing very, very well. Yeah, what a great interview, and he talked about all those great horses he's had, and of course he won the big Group 1 in this season, the Winx Stakes with Samerdoubt, so a great trainer in his own right, and a really funny guy to have around the place for members and everybody to enjoy on a Saturday and all the race days. Yeah, and he has Positive Peace. How do you look at this Saturday, day 2 of the championships? Yeah, what a great day of racing we've got ahead of us again, Tim. The Longines Queen Elizabeth Stakes on Longines Queen Elizabeth Stakes Day is a world-class field. Dan on Premium and a Deb fighting out for tab favouritism at the moment, taking on Tiaco Shark from New Zealand, Very Elegant from Australia. Look, we could go on, couldn't we? Great day of racing. Another 3 big Group 1s, of course, the Coolmore Legacy there that Bjorn's spoken about with Positive Peace. We've got the Star Australian Oaks, another big Group 1 there on Saturday as well. And the Schweppes Sydney Cup. The Schweppes Sydney Cup, another great sponsor. Thank you, Schweppes. So huge day of racing. We're thrilled that members can still see all of our racing on TV. Make sure you tune in, have a bet, have some fun off track, dress up, pretend it is Queen Elizabadeth Stakes Day at home. And we are still racing, which is fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. And we really want to thank everybody again, all our participants and all of our members for just adhering by that social distancing and understanding why we need to do this so we can all get through this together and race on in the future. Thanks, Brett. Good on you, Tim.